So this is Mecha Frieza Blue Majin Buu OTK. You might be tired of seeing Mecha Frieza, but it's a good card. It opens up possibilities, with its abilities. You can be creative, but at the same time, being extremely creative in this game can be very broken, especially if the creativity is about getting a very powerful strategy out sooner than later. Early game instead of mid game. Mid game, if you have a strategy to do something mid game, most people won't complain. But if you have an early game, like a strong early game, instead of just a couple 1, 2, 3 drops, for example, and you establish a small manageable board, no one complains. But if you manage a late game strategy or combo, for example, early game, then yeah, people are gonna have a problem. But it's a card game. It's about challenge. Things are not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. That's why whenever something does make something easy, well, you want to use it. Like a Frieza makes certain concepts easier to do, which is why he's a very popular leader at the moment. So, on his front side permanent ability, when you activate an extra card, you may choose one card from your life, add it to your hand, and if you do, reduce the energy cost of that extra card by 1. If it reduces it to less than 1, as in 0, you may activate that card without paying the specific cost. You don't have to pay none of the colors. You just pay for free. When you have 4 or less life, you may draw 2 cards. You flip this card over. On his awakened side, his permanent ability, same thing, except it reduces the energy cost of the extra card by 2, and if it reduces to less than 1, you may activate it for free. Auto, when this card attacks, draw a card. Pretty standard. So the idea is you want to use that ability. You definitely want to use the whole reduce cost by 2 ability. So if you're using his reduced by 1 ability at first, of course, until you awaken, then you'll do the 2 cost reduction. Let's move on to the main deck. So you want to be able to OTK with Buu. You can do any type of variation of how you use a lot of these cards to establish a board, and you can relatively OTK even without utilizing the fullness of Mecha Frieza. But I will show the concept. You obviously want to be able to do stuff like first turn objection. Going first is very useful because it helps you set up, because you want to set up first turn, second turn, third turn, get as much energy as possible. If you can do everything on first turn, get your first turn to establish your 3 to 4 energies, great. You definitely want to get to 4 blue energy. This deck is largely blue, except for the splash Cold Bloodless, of course, because Mecha Frieza, and Mass Saiyan, which is just a black card, and a couple of black cards, and then there's a red card, but mostly it's blue. So you want to make sure you have 4 blue. You need 4 blue, because you're going to need 2 to play Rebirth of Justice, which is what will help you, early on get some. Well, the thing is, it'll let you play something that normally costs more, 4 or 5, but sooner. So, for example, Magician's Father Babidi, he costs 4, but with this, he'll essentially cost 2. It's the way of looking at it. Just like this 5 cost Power Absorbing Majin Buu will cost 2, because you're using the Rebirth card to play it for 2 energy, and you get the idea. So you're obviously going to try to use this for 2 blue. Preferably, you want to play Magician's Father Babidi. Bibidi. You want to play him because he has the permanent effect. All of your Majin Buus in your battle area gain barrier, which is very useful, which will make it very hard for your opponent to be able to block. Which negate their attacks. They can still combo, but he hopefully are summoning things that are too strong for them to combo. So you play him. He has an auto effect. When you play this card, choose up to one of your out of control evil Majin Buu from your deck and play it, and then shuffle your deck. So obviously you play him, then you get out of control evil Majin Buu. He has Union Absorb. Pay 1 blue, place 1 battle card from your hand and place it on this card, and then get a 1 blue Majin Buu with an energy cost of 5, exactly 5 energy cost from your deck, and place it on top of this card, then shuffle your deck. So obviously you're using Bibbidi to bring out of control Buu. Use out of control Buu's effects, so you're going to need 1 more energy. Remember, out of the 4 you already used 2, so you need to use 1. So now you used up 3 energies in order to use the Union Absorb of Majin Buu's ability, plus 1 card from your hand. Then you bring out Power Absorbing Majin Buu. As you can see, he's a 25,000 dual attacker. Now you'll want to attack. Now, even before you play these cards, there are other things you could play prior. Once you have the 4 energies and you have no battle cards, you want to make sure you have no battle cards at that moment, right? Then you can play Bodyguard Legic for free without paying his energy cost, playing for free, right? Then if you're in a good situation where your opponent's leader is green or yellow, like yellow as a Mecha Frieza, for example, or green as androids or Cell, or any green deck, yellow, again, Mecha Frieza or some ape deck, right? They might have a yellow leader. This will give you the ability to to put back to active mode up to 4 energies. You know what I mean? So that's pretty useful. But that way you can get a 15k with critical, which is a useful effect to have. So now you have her, use her ability, untap the 3 energies you used to play her, so that you still have your 4 energies, right? Then play your 2. So now you have Legic on the field, you have her on the field, so you have 2 attackers plus your leader, so that's 3 attackers already. Then you play 2 blue to play Rebirth of Justice, so that we can play Bibbidi. So 1, 2, 3. Now you have 4 attackers. Then of course Bibbidi would get you Evil Majin Buu, so now you have 5 attackers, but you evolved it into Power Absorbing Majin Buu, which can attack twice. So essentially that's like having 6 attackers, because you have 6 attacks there. 6 attacks, and of course you need to do 2 more damage. If you manage to do damage with all 6 of those attacks, you just need 2 more, right? And because after you attack with him, then remember we already used 3 blue to get to the power Buu. Then the last energy, the last blue you'll need to discard 2 cards from your hand, set them to drop area, and then evolve this on top of the 5 cost Majin Buu. And then it's a 30k triple strike, so there's the extra 3 damage. You only needed 2, but here's 3. Why not, right? Just in case one of the attacks didn't hit, he'll make up for it by being a triple strike, right? Then auto, when this card evolves into this, when a card evolves into this card, switch this card to active mode, right? Because you're going to be once you evolve, you're going to be rested, because you attack with Power Absorb Majin Buu, and he'll be rested after his 2nd attack. Then you put him back to active. You gain 3,000 power, so it'll make you a 60,000 triple striker. So it'll be relatively easy to get in that triple strike attack through. Probably be very hard for your opponent to combo his way out of losing to this. And right there, you have about 9 damage at most in this combo. 8 if one of your 1 hits is blocked or something, but you get the idea. As long as you can get close to 8 damage, 8 or more in a single turn, that's what makes it the OTK, right? So there's that. And then now we already explained the Buus, you know, what you're gonna do with them and what they can do. The BBD, you know, remember BBD will still be on the field, so it'd be hard for them to negate. They're going to have to combo because you have BBD, and you definitely want BBD on the field. You definitely want him on the field because one, he's an extra body. He's he's at a 10k. He can attack. Plus, he gives your Majin Buus, you know, the ability to not be negated. So comboing will be the way your opponent will try to survive. But you have big, heavy hitters, so it'd be hard to. We have energy boosted Majin Buu. Deck thinning. Just think of it as 4 less cards on deck. So now you have a 46 card deck. That's a way of looking at it, right? Then we got Haru Attacker Majin. She's essentially a free 15k crit. Also, her other ability, her first auto, is when you play this card, place up to 2 cards from the top of your deck to the air to your drop air. Since it's up to, that means you could choose not to drop anything, obviously. But what's useful about choosing to drop 2, you know, 1 or 2 cards, is the fact that it'll help you be able to play Quick Blade Trunks with his overall, because he only needs 2 to play. So let's say you did summon, you know, the whole idea of Bodyguard Legic, which is one of the first battle cards you want to play, right, as soon as possible, because you're getting them out for free. Then if you have the you want to set up the scenario where again, like I say, you have the energies to play her, you know, 3 blue energy to play her, use her ability. If you can trigger, hopefully your opponent's leader is green or yellow, trigger ability to untap the 3 energies, so you still have the 4 energies. Then of course you're using her ability to mill 2 from the top of your deck, so that we can overwhelm for a Quick Blade Trunks and be able to play it. So then you should have 3 15k attackers on the field. But then once you do the, you know, combo of rebirth and stuff like that, you'll be able to play another Quick Blade Trunks. But if you in the beginning of by the time you even get to the 4 energies, you will probably already have some ejections, some encouraging presence Monakas in the graveyard already. So of course you'll already be able to play one of these Quick Blade Trunks for free. So you'll be Bodyguard Legic, then Quick Blade Trunks, then use energy 3 energy to play Haru, and then untap them, right? Because you still want the energies for your rebirth Majin Buu strategy, right? But then use her ability to mill 2, so that way you can play another Quick Blade Trunks, you know, overwhelm 2, another Trunks afterwards, so that way you can end up having 4, 2 Trunks, her, and Bodyguard Legic on the field. So you'll have 4 cards on the field ready to battle, and then go into the 2 energy for the rebirth, you know, to play the BBD from the hand, and then hopefully go off from there. You don't have to do BBD specifically, especially if you don't have much cards in hand. Let's say you used up a lot of resources, so you don't have much hands. You pretty much should have a big hand, of course, because you're taking life from Frieza's ability. So you should have a pretty big hand doing this stuff, of course. But you can just skip the BBD if you want and just go straight into summoning power, absorbing Majin Buu, since you can play him with the Rebirth of Justice card, of course. Play him, attack with him twice, so that's already 2 damage right there. And then evolve him, you know, so you could do 3 more damage, that's 5 damage, plus the leader, you know, if you combine it with encouraging President Monaka, that's an extra 2 damage on top of the 5, so that's 7 damage right there. You know, if you already, and then of course, like I said, you already dropped some other attackers, so you can see the potential of like how, you know, almost any variation of your hand will be able to get enough bodies on board to come at your opponent and win, and you know, and deal a lot of damage, and essentially OTK. So it's not like you have to play a specific arrangement of cards. You can play almost any variation you want. It's just you obviously want to get the max. So if you see a whole, you know, setup of how you can get the most out of your board, you know, out of your hand and whatnot, you know, obviously, you know, do what you do. But just gave you the basic rundown of what you can do. There's different variations, different ways you could do this. Like there's something you can do where you play bodyguard logic, right? And then let's say you attack with the leader, and then use well, of course you can always just combo. I was just gonna say is like the idea that you could play bodyguard logic for free, right? And then attack with your leader, combo from the field with bodyguard logic to get him to the graveyard, you know, give a boost, and then after the battle you can play another bodyguard logic, because as long as you don't have something on the field, a battle card on the field and your opponent does, you can play logic for free without paying the cost. But of course, if all you try to do is get them to the graveyard and get the 5k boost, you can just, you know, combo and get them there anyway. But it's just, you know, just something to note that you can play them for free, combo with them, play them for free from the hand, you know, because that would more likely come in handy later on, because there might be a leader that can benefit from that, from, you know, you playing a battle card, and you might trigger an effect by doing so. You might make the leader stronger and stronger just by playing a battle card. So, you know, that'll have some type of use. Right now it's just like it's 0k, zero cost 5k, so you could just combo it from the hand if you would need it to the graveyard. But of course, being able to play for free and then play like a battle card or even an extra card that requires you to tribute, you know, then obviously it becomes really useful in that, because you're playing for free, play a card, they'll tribute them, you know, as a cost or part of the effect, and then boom, do what you gotta do. Especially if you're playing KO or something, you might need something to KO, you know, for free, right, and trigger their effects. And then of course, encouraging President Monaca not only gives the leader double strike, which would be useful for the leader to be able to deal 2 damage, you get to draw a card, so it replaces itself, more deck thinning. You know, it reduces the deck size. The more thinning, the more searching, the more drawing, the more you do, the better chances you have of getting the combo pieces you need in order to go off and win, right? And Cold Bloodless, because it's Mecha Frieza, he's a Frieza army card. I'm a leader, so obviously you could play this, which will help you stop your opponent from trying to do this to you, the same combo to you, or a different variation, or any other type of combo they try to combo you, or try to activate the effect of, you know, like Cell or something, the drop, the 7-drop Cell. You could just Cold Bloodless, obviously. So gotta have some type of control. You want to go off, you don't want your opponent to go off. And then 2 mass same Mysterious Warrior, Overwhelm of 5, pay 1 energy to play this card. It's a 20k double strike, and when you play this card using Overwhelm, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards without blocker, for which the total cost adds up to 5 energy, but, you know, 5 cost or less, and, you know, send them to the warp. So it's a good way of clearing board, especially if your opponent's been doing a pretty good job of trying to prevent you from going off. Then you can just like, all right, well, since you played everything else to stop all my other stuff, well, I'll play this since you can't stop this, and wipe your board. You know what I mean? So reset. So it's nice to have a reset button, as it were. And then that's the end of the video.